What's going on, you guys? It's me bringing you another strike pack tutorial video. This tutorial is going to be going over and explaining the weapon AI mod. Now, weapon AI mod is a hidden, very overpowered mod that's within most, if not all, of these Call of Duty game packs that Collector Mods have brought to us here in Mod Pass. Now, as you guys see right here, first slot, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, especially made for multiplayer. Well, you can use it for Warzone as well, but I like to just stick with it for multiplayer. And for Warzone, I obviously use the second slot, as you see, Call of Duty Warzone right here. Now, I'm going to be showing you both weapon AI activation in both, probably Warzone first and then Cold War second, but I'm going to be opening up these game packs and showing you guys. Now, the settings doesn't really matter. It's to each his own, so match all your settings, your sensitivity, and everything. You're going to be mostly focused on weapon AI, and there's no weapon AI setting here whatsoever because, like I said, it's a hidden feature, you know, specifically made for the strike pack. Weapon AI is not in the Zen. It's not part of the Corona Zen, so that feature is exclusive to the strike pack for these Call of Duty game packs. Now, you could copy the same exact way you see my settings. These are the loadouts, but we're not going to be using the loadouts right now. We have 5 of them for this game pack, but you guys already know, but not going to be going over the loadouts. Going to be mainly focusing on the weapon profiles, which is 2, which is, you know, green and red. Secondary weapon circle, and primary weapon is triangle. Leaving primary on regular fire, secondary on rapid fire, which doesn't really matter, but I like to just leave 1 regular and 1 rapid fire. And then once we activate weapon AI, and I'm gonna show you how to in the game momentarily, it's going to override and it's going to put the gun here. So for example, let's say in a war zone I find a FAR. And I activate weapon AI. When you plug back in the strike pack and comes to this game pad, you're going to see it set right here because it's automatically going to pick it up. It's going to recognize it, which is pretty dope. Weapon AI is insane. It's basically all I've been using for the past couple of days. Pretty dope. Instead of just setting the weapon, you know, manually here, just having it automatically detect without you having to, like, you know, edit a recoil, stuff like that. But there are times where weapon AI will fail. Multiple times you got to reactivate it again. You got to go to a quiet area because the weapon AI mod, this feature is very sensitive when it comes to vibrations. Trust me, the most littlest vibrate, the most littlest sound, the most littlest gunfire will throw off the weapon AI. So you gotta sometimes activate it more than once, more than twice. If it screws up on you, go somewhere else, go to a different location, more quieter, and activate it. Using muzzles does interfere with it, like suppressors and stuff like that. So try to avoid a weapon with a suppressor on it. And underbarrels are kind of pointless. Like I always say, I explain countless times why underbarrels are pointless. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to explain it again momentarily in the game as well. But this is for the Warzone. Again, settings or it doesn't really matter. It's to each his own, however you want to set it up. Because weapon AI is different. Weapon AI doesn't matter, you know, whatever gun you have in your hand, you can still activate weapon AI. The way you activate weapon AI in the game is by holding touchpad and R2. Or touchpad and R1 if you are playing flipped. Now, what is weapon AI? Weapon AI is automatic weapon detection feature that will automatically apply rapid fire if your gun is a semi-automatic weapon, and it will automatically apply the most optimized recoil possible. So limiting your recoil for you, turning your gun into like a weapon AI beam. But again, you got to make sure you're in a quiet area, no muzzles or suppressors. Sometimes you can get away with it, but the only truly way to activate weapon AI, if you still want a suppressor, you're gonna have to activate weapon AI and then adjust recoil with the quick edit anti-recoil. You guys already know by holding L2, R2, and down on D-pad, stuff like that, to get it to where you really want to, if you really want to use a suppressor. But me, I don't really run around with suppressors that often. And underbarrels, forget about it. Underbarrels are pointless. If you're using like weapon AI and anti-recoil mods, don't even run an underbarrel. Why? Run something else. But again, the weapon AI feature is very sensitive. So you might have to activate it more than once. Sometimes more than twice. And don't do it in the same location. If it messes up on you in one location, go somewhere else in the map, more quieter, and activate it. Now I'm going to show you how it looks like in Warzone, as well as Cold War multiplayer. Alright, now that I just dropped in, are we waiting? Hold a small left lag button back strike pack, right paddle. Second slot is my Warzone game pack. And now I'm good to go. But let me see if I can probably test this out with this random weapon that we just dropped in with. Go to a quiet area. Hold touchpad and R2. But before that, enable the profile. So touchpad and triangle, flash green, first weapon profile. Now touchpad and R2, the gun is going to shoot, reload, shoot. And now you should be good to go. Now if you're ADS and shoot, see that? Empty out the whole clip, no recoil, but I'm gonna show you better in actual game once we load in. But that's it. That's pretty much all you gotta do to activate weapon AI. See how quickly that was? And you can do that with whatever weapon it is you find off the ground, stuff like that. Sometimes you might have to do it more than once. Sometimes weapon AI could miss it. Sometimes due to an attachment or due to like vibration, gunfire, any kind of explosions around you. It's very sensitive, so it does pick it up. I know a lot of you guys say that, oh, weaponizers work, my gun's not being detected. It's because, you know, usually it's very faint, but the weapon AI is very sensitive when it comes to like vibration and noise and stuff like that. So you want to be, you know, away from crowds, away from people, in a quiet area, safe area, and activate it. And again, sometimes attachments can throw it off too, so just, you know, do it once or twice. Now that I just fired the Milano, I just picked it up off of that guy I just killed with a pistol. Now, activating weapon AI. Touchpad R2. Continue to press.
Hostile helo.
Now, reload. Now, ADS to shoot. You see no recoil at all whatsoever. That's pretty much weapon AI. See? No recoil, it doesn't go anywhere. Alright, so now I'm on Cold War. As you can see, custom games, Nuketown. This is the class I'm going over. We're going to be demonstrating 1911 because I want to show you guys what weapon AI does. So, semi-automatic weapon, Craig 6. Now, this is just random attachments I threw on. Raider stock, speed tape, light, a barrel, 19.7 takedown, which is the EDR, and optic. Always skip a muzzle and underbarrel. I always explain to you guys, and in my previous videos, I always explain using an underbarrel is completely pointless when it comes to weapon AI and using anti-recoil mods. Do not, because you're defeating the purpose. Underbarrels and all these grips are meant to help and adjust your recoil. So if you're already using an anti-recoil mod, why are you going to use an underbarrel? Doesn't make any sense. And muzzles will and do most of the time, if not all the time, interfere with weapon AI detection. So just avoid running a muzzle. If you have to, you can run like a suppressor or whatever. But in that case, then you will have to quick edit your recoil. You guys already know by holding L2, R2, down on D-pad, up, down, left, right. I explained numerous times in my videos how to edit your recoil on the fly. But normally, and I just prefer not to just run a muzzle and not run an underbarrel. Save me the headache. It'll save you the headache too. But yeah, this is what I'm going with. So let me get into my first slot, my first game pack. Left button, right paddle. First slot is Cold War game pack. And at this point, you want to activate weapon AI. So same way I just showed you in Warzone, the same way for this game pack and previous COD game packs as well. Touchpad R2, keep them pressed down until the animation is done. I like to reload to get back my ammo that I missed. And now I'm an ADS and I'm gonna shoot, and I'm gonna show you guys what weapon AI did to the Craig. See that? It doesn't even move at all. That's the weapon AI detection. Like I explained in the beginning of the video, weapon AI, it's not 100% accurate, as I want to say. It has its flaws. Sometimes you're gonna have to, you know, enable it multiple times, like do the touchpad R2 numerous times. It might mess up the first or second time. So it has its faults, it has its bugs and glitches, but when it does work, it's amazing, as you can see. But again, 9 times out of 10, most of the reasons why it doesn't detect it is because either you have a muzzle, an underbarrel, or there's some kind of vibration. Because this weapon AI feature, this mod is very sensitive when it comes to vibration. So any kind of weapon fire that's like a few meters away, any kind of vibration, explosions, anything that's going to make your controller vibrate, even a slight, will interfere with it and mess it up. So, you know, you might have to activate it a couple of times if you are around, like, you know, a lot of noise and a lot of sounds that's going to make your controller vibrate. And yeah, those are the only reasons that would mess up and interfere with your weapon AI. Now I'm just going to press triangle, go to my secondary, which is a 1911. Now same thing, touchpad R2 is going to shoot, reload, shoot. Wait till the animation is over. I like to reload to get back the ammo I lost. Now check this out with the 1911. See that? So for semi-automatic weapons, weapon AI applies rapid fire as well because it recognizes it and it knows that, oh, he has a semi-automatic weapon, pistol, shotgun, etc., rifles, whatever. Even the sniper rifles, like you hold down R2 is going to continuously keep shooting and shooting, and it also applies the most optimum recoil possible, giving you no recoil at all. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty good. So yeah, it can be a very overpowered mod and feature if you get used to it and you know when to activate it and when not to activate it. I would say only activate it, especially for Warzone, for like loot weapons only. If you haven't gotten your loadout yet and you want just to quick weapon AI, boom, activate it for whatever weapon you find off the ground. You activate it. Again, it's not 100% accurate. Again, a lot of things can throw it off. It's very sensitive. So if that's the case, if you, let's say you do it, right? You hold down such blah blah and activates, and then for some reason it screws up and you're shooting and then the recoil screws up on you, go somewhere else, like move away from different locations somewhere else, more quieter, and then do it again, and then touchpad R2 and do it again, and then test again. All right, you might have to do it more than once or more than twice, all depending on your location, depending what's around you, because again, the weapon AI feature, the mod, is very sensitive. And make sure you do not have a suppressor or whatever, a muzzle in general, or underbarrel. You guys already know how I feel about underbarrels. Underbarrels are just kind of a waste of time. It defeats the purpose. And don't have a muzzle, because for some reason weapon AI has a hard time detecting a muzzle. And if you do have a muzzle or a suppressor, I told you guys what you're gonna have to do. You're going to have to ADS, shoot down D-pad, felt the first vibrate, and then go up, down, left, right to edit your recoil manually. Then let go L2, and you have a beam in your hands. And you guys always remember that it is very, very important to have controller vibration enabled when using any of these Call of Duty game pack mods. These mods work around the vibration of the controller. So again, double check to make sure your controller vibration in your settings in your game is enabled.